UPSC CSE 2025 mains, the clock is already ticking. You are having just 62 days, barely 62 days or 61 days is before you. Just around it to 60 days. Have you started your answer writing? Or if you have already done with your answer writing, have you checked, are you aligned with the 753 rule of answer writing, the most popular way in which all the toppers are writing? Have you ever heard of it? If you are targeting this year mains or if you're targeting next year mains, first know this is a basic rule. Till you have the 60 days time, you can even correct your mistake right now. Because 60 days, if you take it as an opportunity, and if you're working 10 hours each day, it is like 600 hours you may be working out. That is, in 600 hours, you can do a lot of changes in your answer writing because you are not having any kind of lack of content before you. You're already done with your contents with your mains preparation that you have done before the pre-examination. Now it is the last minute, right? So in 753 rule, what I mean by this 753 rule, let's discuss that. So mains answer writing. See, pre was just a phase. Your pre-mark is not counted in your final merit list. Only this mains plus interview marks will be counted. As most of you know this, it is not a rocket science. So mains answer writing. Your vocab matters. If you ask me, to some extent only your vocab matters. You need not to use the most complicated words. You are not writing a book for Shashi Tharoor. You are just writing it for someone who is a university professor who is going to read your paper. So make sure the words that you are using is very colloquial words or very normal words. It's a layman language, but ensure that you are having the clarity of whatever things you are writing it over there. No one is testing your knowledge here because everyone in the room who is writing the mains along with you is having the same level of knowledge or just a higher level of knowledge than you. But how you are presenting your knowledge, the knowledge is always seen in a way you are presenting it. So the presenting does not mean that it's only your handwriting. So your handwriting is a part of that, but handwriting is not the entire part of it. If you see the toppers' answers, look at their answers, how they have written it. The handwriting, if you focus, the handwriting is not what that matters. It's only the way in which the content that they know they are presenting in that short span of time in a crisp and clear manner because you're having a lot of content condensing everything to that 250 words or 150 words in that less time, that is the real task over here. So the 753 rule, what does this mean? 7 minutes, more than 7 minutes, if you are taking for one answer, believe me, you are not in an advantage position. You are just pulling yourself out from the competition. So within a 7 minute, if I mean, suppose you're writing one question, suppose one question is taking you 10 minutes, the next question you have already taken 3+ minutes here extra. So next question, make sure you're writing it in lesser time that is available to you. And the least lesser time that you can take for the question should be your next question's answering time that you're facing. So 7 minutes, that is 7 is equal to 7 minutes per question. And 5. 5 is like you have to divide your answer into 5 heads. That is, you must have either a 5 theme for your answers or 5 angles or 5 factors. For example, a question may have a social factor, the economic factor, and a technological factor, or the environmental factor that is determining it. So these kind of 2, 3, 4, 5 heads at least you have to make for the same. And then what is this 3 rule? 3 rule, it just means that whatever points that you are writing, you know that you're having a solid body and how you have to write the answer starting of the answer, because the first impression is your best impression. That is what we have here. But if you ask me, more than the first impression, focus more on the body of the content because you yourself take a topper's copy. Just look at the way in which your eyes is scanning that paper. When your eyes are scanning a topper's copy, your full concentration of your eyes is going to fall in the center part of the answer. That is the main body of the answer. If you take a A4 size sheet or the UPSC sheet, you look at here, the question is written, and here you are writing your just the starting of the answer you're writing, you're giving introduction to the answer. Then this main part, this main body here where even your eyes will be scanning through. The same way everyone is working on the same psychology, but I have to say one more caution. The first 5 questions, make sure the first introduction is awesome. Because if your first 5 introduction is awesome, automatically the paper corrector, the invigilator, who is correcting your paper, will not be again interested in your introduction. They will be mainly focusing on how you have written your main body, main content, whatever is your main content that will be focused. In main content, a graph or a map or a flow chart, this will give you high value mark, because even half mark per question, if you're increasing half mark per question also for the 4 papers that you're having, then imagine the score that you will be just making it just because of gaining a half mark extra. Then now the 5 heading is very important. What is this 3 rule? The 3 here means that for every subheadings, at least mention that 3 important points in a way that you are covering the same item. So that is how your answer should be like 7 minutes, 5 subheadings, and 3 core means the 3 core points that is relating to that. You need not to write everything that is on the earth. For example, if you're asked about climate change, you can write endless thing about climate change, but you have to crisp it down. For example, climate change is such a huge topic because it is a favorite topic also, and it is a very huge topic. So if it is a climate change, suppose the climate change is a question, first line you can, the question may be focusing a precise aspect of climate change because it's broad area, right? So whatever the question is focusing, write a introduction on 1 or 2 lines. If possible, use a standard definition for that. If you don't know any kind of definition, just pick the keyword from that question and start with that. That will be the best introduction to address it. Now, next thing is that in the body, if the climate change is a question, for example, how the climate change is impacting the rural economy. Suppose that is a question. Okay. So the rural economy connection is there. It is not just rural. The word economy is also added. Plus this climate change. So rural area, if you look at first factor, best factor, I would say that the economic factor. So economic factor, the rural area is dependent primarily on what is the economic activity? That is primary sector, especially agriculture sector. So agriculture is already focusing too much on climate, because if a small climate change is happening, the entire that year's produce will be affected. So that is the one primary point. So you can give cite 1 or 2, 3 examples, like the heavy rain, how that has impacted, etc., or the salination of the soil that is increasing because of the climate change, the soil became acidic due to the climate change. You can write such kind of points over there. Now, if this is the economic point, once you pick up the economic point, then the social point will automatically come to you, because already the rural people are facing the social inequalities, right? So when the primary source of income is already becoming constrained because of climate change, the scope of development is further going down. Okay, so again, they will be always living in that vicious cycle. The vicious social cycle, they will be finding it hard to break up from that. Then next thing is the technological. In the technological aspect, what you can say that in the technological aspect, you can say that earlier the farmer need not to use such kind of high quality fertilizer. The land that has been means that has been fertilized to the crop rotation, etc. Now they have to depend on more fertilizer. Synthetic fertilizer is sometimes very much needed. And then the technological innovations, whichever that is forcing the farmer. For example, the climate change happened, the water level has gone too down, so the farmer has to find the alternative irrigation sources, so that there they need a higher technology. For there, in that case also they are spending a huge amount of money. Then the environmental aspect also, the quality or the quality in which the seeds were earlier produced, that is not happening now because of the climate change. The entire production is affecting, and also the land and the ecology that used to support such crops are now not supporting it. So the farmer is now forced to go away from such kind of farming also. Such kind of farming practice is dropped because the climate, the ecology is not supporting it. So these kind of subheadings and the inner points you have to make it. This is a 753 rule that you have to follow in your answer writing. Now let us see, let's say one or two example. Okay, so here is a PYQ question. Okay, because there is an exception for the 753 rule. That's what I have to focus on. So explain the geographical factors in development of ancient India. This is a history question, clubbing it with the geographical factors. So here the keyword for you is geographical factors, then ancient India, sub keyword is development. So how the ancient India development has happened and how these geographical factors have influenced the ancient India. So what are the geographical factors that you may be knowing it? Mountain. Mountains are one geographical factors. The passes, then rivers, because primarily the IVC mainly was a river civilization. So the rivers is important part because it is the ancient era. So river is the important factor. I would say that river is the first important point. Second point will be mountains. Then third will be passes, and fourth will be forest, and fifth can be like sea. The sea routes, because the sea routes have helped in the trade, collision, etc. Passes have prevented the foreign invasion. Some passes allowed the foreign invasion over here. Then mountain acted as a natural barrier for many things. The forest that has provided them with the resources to expand their life. The how the improvement have happened with the forest in the ancient India. So this way you are having now five factors. In each factor under this you have to point out the three important points whichever is coming to your mind at the heat of the exam hall, because the heat of the exam hall, if you have studied the NCRTs or the even the basic books for 10 times or 20 times, your brain will be in a different mood. Your brain, your hormones will be in a different mood, so they will give you one or two three extra points. Believe that that is the best point that you're writing, so you have to have the confidence in each step you're taking. So confidence is a key factor to proceed for the next answer. If you lack a confidence in one question, like you are not able to remember or recollect the perfect content, or if you feel that your content is not that good, skip that and go for the next question. Finish that and then come back for the previous question in which you will be stuck. Okay. Now let's look at this question. This is not one more thing. The 753 tool we have said now, it is 7 minutes universal application that we have to apply for all the questions. But this 5.3 as three sub-point basis, it is not something that you can apply for every question. But most of the question, the 80% of the questions, you can do in this format in a way that you are able to write your content in a comprehensive manner. You're touching all the points that is showing the whoever is correcting your examination paper, they are understanding that okay, the child is having the aspirant is having all kind of knowledge because they are sector wise they are thinking about the concept, so that will give them the idea that you are having a broad knowledge on the same topic. Now let's analyze this question. This is a typically different one. This kind of question, that is the question that is now shown, this kind of question is not basically from your normal textbooks or the coaching institute materials, etc. This is something that you can answer by observing your society, the social issues that is happening. The same thing happens with the ethics paper also. Now the child cuddling is now being replaced by mobile phones. Discuss its impact on the socialization of children. So it is something that you're seeing every day, because every children are having the mobile in the hand. Even to eat the food, the parents are dependent on only the phone to even communicate with them and to engage the child whenever they are having the me time. So the me time is increasing between the parents now, and the parents both are working. So the social society in which the society that has existed in the past and the society that is evolving to the present, that is entirely different. More nuclear family culture is there. So here the question you cannot answer in this 5-3 means the 5 subpoints point. Here also one more thing, there is two part of the question is there. You have to give equal importance or little extra importance to this discuss session. The child cuddling is now being replaced by mobile phones. This is a statement. So you have to support your factors by saying that yes, the child cuddling is now being replaced by the mobile phones as the society is changing. Moreover, the parent role is also changing in the society, and the families are moving to the nuclear family sections. Here, the childcare. Parents are working higher for the childcare, but the quality time that they're having to spend with the child is reducing. Now it impact on the socialization of children, because if you see the people who are addicted to phones, they're having so many kind of the children are having so many kind of neurological issues. Okay, also they're having some kind of psychological issues also. When they come to the real world versus the virtual world, they're more confident in the virtual aspect of the world. When it comes to the face-to-face conversation, they are showing a lag behind that. So that is also one thing we can say as the impact. So here this kind of question, I'm just giving you pair 2 or 3 points only, because this you can write in a detailed format. I'll do one thing for the people who are targeting 2026. Okay, I'll try for 2025 people also. We will try to cover like 1,000 questions, 1,000 mains answer writing questions from GS1, GS2, GS3, and even ethics paper also. Essay we will do as a separate section. So that by doing this PYQs of the mains, also the different possible PYQs from the newspapers that is coming daily, or the reports that are important reports, we can just discuss some questions, the skeleton in which you can write the answer. We will give a skeleton of the answer, how you have to write it, what are the important points that you can focus. Then you can adopt your own ideas also. So we will try to see that we will try to create a Telegram group or WhatsApp group in which you can also send us your answers. We will just try to evaluate your answers also, so we can make it as a community. So do one thing, you can just visit us. So we will be posting the daily 1 or 2 questions in the main section. We will be posting it. Okay. And now one more thing, GS4, that is your ethics paper for this 2025 students. What I have planned to do is that for 2025 aspirants, we will cover the important ethical issues from where the question can be picked out. The social issues that have happened in the news. Based on that, what are the possible ethics related questions that can be found? That is the ethical issues that has happened. For example, if you see that teen pregnancy is increasing in India. Even today, a UN report has came on that. That is that the teen pregnancy is increasing. There is unwanted pregnancy is increasing in India, and that is leading to social crimes also. So here, these kind of questions can be a potential ethics question. So why the society's moral, the moral value, the reducing or the diminishing moral value, these aspects will be more highlighted in this kind of ethics question. So we will try to bring out a set of a minimum of 100 issues that has happened from 2022 to 2025. That is covering 3 years. From the last 3 years, the important ethical issues that has been happening, and which has a probability to come in GS4 ethics paper. So we pick up those contemporary issues also, so that like this, the war. If you see, the Ukraine war is there, that is the Russo-Ukraine war is happening from long years now, and now the Iran-Israel war that is happening. So these kind of war also questions the role of a leader and the ethics behind these kind of war, and also the developing country who are taking part in this. Now, if you take the case of the Operation Sindhu also, that is also potentially a question where you can expect a kind of ethics question, or even in your international relation. Because international relation, why I say, because earlier India was like we were earlier the victims of this kind of terrorism. Now we are not standing as a victims, we are ready to fight against all these kind of attacks, in not at all the expect in a way that no one is expecting India to react. So we will frame questions on those lines also, that will also help you in your upcoming mains. Okay, so we will do one thing. We will post this GS4 ethics related one liner with the important ethical issues that has been in contemporary as a PDF or a file in our Telegram channel or in the Twitter. I will post it on the Twitter, and I will share the link in the YouTube. So if you have been enjoying this video, ensure that you're subscribing for us, and ensure you're supporting us, so that we will also have the motivation to provide you with the ample amount of uh, help in your UPSC preparation. Thank you.